Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Wallsend history story. This week I am doing another little video outside and I am on Wallsend Green, which you might be able to know if you know the area. It is also a lot windier than I was expecting it to be. It's supposed to not be windy today. So I'm actually going to try this video and hope that it works. It might not. But I'm going to give it a go and see what happens because, like I say, it's a lot windier than I was actually expecting. It's a really nice day, but the wind is blowing a lot more than the forecast said it was going to. But then you can never really take any notice of the forecast. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to walk along towards Wallsend Hall and I am actually going to walk down Lilly Bank. The reason that I'm going down that way is you get a little bit of a view of where the hospital used to be on the green, well, part of the hospital, and also down Lilly Bank is where some of the oldest houses in Wallsend actually are. The majority of the houses on the green are quite old, but also a lot of them have been demolished and rebuilt. So certain parts of the green are kind of what you would call original houses, and certain parts are not. So, for example, when I get a little bit further along, you'll be able to see a little part of it, which is Elm Terrace, and they are really old buildings because there's a lot of them appear on the really old postcards. So that is what you can see over there. I don't know whether you heard that car. The music was quite loud. So they're quite old, those ones there. And obviously, as you go down Lilly Bank, the house on the corner here, or I don't know, I used to call it the lodge. Um, this was, I'm quite sure, part of Wallsend Hall at one point in time. There's a lot of buildings in Wallsend Hall that obviously aren't there anymore because when Robert Richards and Dees used to own it, it also used to have things like stables and gardeners' cottages and things like that because obviously there was much more around the outside of the hall itself than what's there now. So you can just say, probably can say, a couple of signs in front of you there which do say Wallsend Hall, but of course, obviously at the moment, it's not in use. It's all just boarded up, so we can't go in there. So this is Lilly Bank that we're going down. I think, if I remember rightly, there's also a really old post box down here as well. I think it's a Victorian post box. So this is a lovely area. The green really is. I mean, you can see parts of it there as we're going down. It's a really nice area. And I've always fancied having a house on here, but never quite got round to that one. So as I say, like that's quite an original part because it shows up on a lot of the old postcards, and also, as I've probably mentioned once or twice, you can frequently tell by the brickwork, and the brickwork on those properties there to me says 1700s at the very least. They are quite likely to be handmade bricks, so that would be quite old. So as you come down here, like I say, it's a lovely, lovely little place, and it's a lovely, quiet little area. And I'm scanning the walls because I'm sure there is a post box down here, but I think I might have actually passed it, quite possibly. So I don't suppose that you can hear it because obviously the wind has dropped a little bit now that I've come down here, but I don't suppose you can hear it. But I could hear the wood pigeons in the background there, which was really nice. I can hear a lot of other birds as well, which is lovely. Nice to hear. And there's some lovely blossoms still and a fuchsia bush. I like fuchsias, but they don't always grow for me. that's a really old wall. I don't know. I'm trying not to turn into a let's have an old wall conversation. So I'm going to sort of lift the camera up so you can see part of Wallsend Hall, and then I have done some of Wallsend Hall in another video that I've recorded, which you probably already have seen part of that, but I can't sort of really see much of it from here. You have to lift the camera up, and all you really get to see is what's boarded up there. But that is how Wallsend Hall is looking at the moment. You can see a massive amount of chimney pots. You can imagine when that was actually in use, just how many fireplaces they would have had. So quite sure I've actually passed the Victorian post box and haven't realised. I think it might have been under a bush up there that I never noticed. So this, I believe, is the oldest house in Wallsend. It's quite possible. It's a stone built house, and it really is, like I say, a nice little area. So when you come out down here, and I used to walk this way quite a lot years ago, but I haven't done it for a long time. But I did used to walk this way years ago. It just basically brings you out onto King's Road at the side of the Hall grounds. I hope you can hear all the birds twittering. It's nice to hear all the birds twittering. Quite warm today, but the forecast for tomorrow is red hot. I'm actually going to go up these funny little steps just to see if I can see over the top. Well, I can a little bit, but all you can see is trees. But that basically would have shown you directly into the Hall grounds. So I have definitely passed the post box because I can't see it. I'm sure it was up here. I'm sure somebody will tell us if I've got that wrong, but I'm sure it was around this area. So, like I say, when you get to the bottom of here, you're going to come out onto King's Road. I don't know how many people remember walking around this way. I mean, I used to do it once or twice, but it wasn't an area that I really sort of came along. It's a lovely, peaceful little walk from the green round onto King's Road. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I could feel that. Yeah, I went the wrong way. It's lovely, quiet, peaceful. I've said that a few times, but it's kind of like I say, often you do forget that you're in the middle of a really busy town. And as we're coming towards King's Road, I'm actually saying, oh, there's a squirrel. And there goes the squirrel. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the little squirrel? I don't know why I'm asking as if somebody's going to actually answer me. Well, there's a little squirrel running about there. I hope you can see that. And it's just ran across the road, so I'm assuming it's going to the park. Maybe as if fancies a bit play about on the swings or something. I never know. So here, as I say, now you can really see, and it's actually a really nice hole in the fence, so you can see that's the whole grounds. So that footpath that I've just walked along runs down the side of the whole grounds. Didn't know there was quite such a big hole in the fence. So we're going to come out now onto King's Road, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave this one, because this is all it was just a little walk around Lilly Bank and onto King's Road to let you have a look around that area and to just, well, basically it's just a little walk showing you how nice parts of Wallsend are that you don't always see, you know, because often people just go to the park and the whole grounds and don't see all the other little bits. But as I've said before, you're now out on King's Road. So the entrance to the Hall grounds is there, and the entrance to the park is there, and obviously that's the rest of King's Road up there. So I'm going to leave that one there. So I hope that you have enjoyed this short little video and a little walk down Lilly Bank past what is rumoured, and I do believe it is true, to be the oldest house in Wallsend, apart from Wallsend Hall, of course, or if you really want to go to the extreme, apart from Holy Cross Ruins, that's obviously the oldest building in Wallsend, well, ruins. Anyway, I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again next week.